Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. I know some of you might be experiencing some Diddy fatigue, but child, this new documentary, The Fall of Diddy, has some tea. Let me tell you all about it. Jay-Z did warn Tony Buzbee not to play with him. The Jigga Man wants Tony to prove that he has a license to practice law in NYC. I wonder what happened to Tony's license. I know that we have a lot of Donald Trump supporters that watch this show, and I love it. We welcome everybody. But I have a question for y'all. Y'all love Donald Trump, but do you think that he deserves to be on Mount Rushmore? What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Thursday morning. Y'all know what that means. My favorite day of the week is one day away, and I'm in a good mood. All right, I have 4 lead stories for you. We're going to kick it off by talking to you about a new accuser going after Diddy Combs, and we're also going to give you a recap of the new documentary, The Fall of Diddy. Jay-Z wants Tony Buzbee to prove that he can practice law in New York City, and Dolton Mayor gets into a heated argument and wigs start flying. Stick around for that. It's hilarious. In quick news, we're going to talk to you guys about Kanye West, Donald Trump being on Mount Rushmore, Sukihana, A$AP Relli, Rihanna, Spotify, Lil Yachty, R&B Singer Mya, and Steven Twitch Boss. As always, we're going to close out the show with social discussion, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Our first lead story. Diddy Combs' ex-assistant claims that he was ordered to be with people to prove his loyalty in new bombshell documentary. All right, for the past couple of days, I've been telling you guys about this new documentary that was coming out titled The Fall of Diddy. And even I was like, man, I'm not in the mood to watch another documentary, but I watched it and I am really liking it. It's different than a lot of the documentaries that have already come out in the sense that it's really focusing, well, I shouldn't say focusing, but it's highlighting a lot of the new things that are happening. And that's really what I find interesting. Not saying that the people that are talking about Diddy that were from the 90s or the early 2000s, but to me, it's even more shocking that a lot of these people are talking about things that happened in 2019, 2020. Some are talking about things that happened in 2022. So when Diddy came out with that Cassie video and he was like, yeah, that was in the past in 2016 and I have to get better and I have gotten better. You know, some people will look and say, hey, that was 10 years ago. Or the other incidences where a lot of the civil cases happened in the 90s or early 2000s. People are like, listen, why didn't you come forward 20 years ago or 25 years ago? This documentary is really talking to a lot of people that have cases against Diddy or making accusations against Diddy that are literally happening 2 years or even 5 years ago. So it's very, very interesting. One that I wanted to highlight is his ex-assistant. And we are also going to break down 3 other parts that I really liked in lead story number 2. Okay. But I just want to read to you this excerpt about his personal assistant that I found really shocking. So Diddy Combs' former personal assistant broke down in tears in a new interview as he describes the moment his former employee allegedly ordered him to be with a girl to prove his loyalty. Speaking with a journalist for investigation discovery documentary The Fall of Diddy, which released its first 2 episodes on Monday, Philip Pines reveals new details about the shocking allegations he made against the disgraced hip-hop mogul, 55 years old, in a lawsuit he filed in December. Pines, who allegedly worked for Combs from 2019 to 2021, is suing him for SB, SH, and ST, and is claiming that his job duties were to enable Combs's alleged SA activities. Again, like I said, really shocking that we're hearing all of these SA and SH allegations, not from 25 years ago, but from literally 2021. That's only 4 or 5 years ago. It continues and says, In a new interview for the ID doc, Pines claims loyalty was everything to Diddy, adding that the moment the disgraced musician allegedly told him to prove himself was something he would never forget. My life changed and I've never really recovered from it, he said through tears. According to Pines, Diddy had been drinking all day before the alleged freak-off. The former assistant went on to claim that he never even really wanted to take part in the alleged parties. Tearing up, he continued, I remember hearing the words, prove your loyalty to me, you're king. He grabbed me by my shoulders, gave me a massage like a coach would give a player that's about to enter a game, handed me protection, and then put me on the couch beside a girl that was a guest. I froze before it took place. I didn't know what was happening. In a moment, I felt like, what? Is this fun for him? Is this a test for entertainment? Does he even know what's going on? Is he that gone? I didn't know what to do. She gave me consent. Yeah, she nodded her head. Pine said of the woman Diddy allegedly wanted him to be with. I performed for a little bit and then ran out of there as soon as I didn't see him in my sights anymore. Like, gosh, that is like just even awkward to even read, right? Anyways, it goes on to say, explaining why he agreed, the rapper's ex-assistant claims that he saw Diddy allegedly putting hands on former employees who stood up to him. I saw how angry he could get for the simplest things. I thought to myself, if I don't do this, I don't know what's going to happen, he said. Today, Pines has a great sense of remorse about what he said happened. I come from a Christian background and I lean on my morals heavily, he said while crying. Diddy's attorney told the Post, no matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never SA'd anybody or ST'd anybody, man or woman. We live in a world where anyone can file a lawsuit for any reason. Fortunately, a fair and impartial judicial system exists to find the truth. Mr. Combs is confident he will prevail in court. The Fall of Diddy finale airs tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on ID and streams on Max and Discovery Plus. All right, so there you have it. I don't have a clip. That's why I just wanted to read everything out to you. I do have a picture of the interview that I'll put up so you could see it. But really, just almost heart-wrenching to see this man up here telling this story through tears. I think it was on Tuesday's episode. I also played a clip from another person that was in this documentary. And I was telling you guys that I have watched almost every Diddy documentary, and this girl seemed so convincing. And I say the same thing about this guy, Pines. He seems so convincing. Again, like I said on Tuesday's episode, I'll say it here. Not because somebody sounds convincing means they're telling the truth. And just because somebody doesn't sound convincing doesn't mean they're not telling the truth, right? Like the article ends off by saying, or Diddy's lawyer ends off by saying, anybody can file a lawsuit. It's really up to the judicial system and the lawyers to fight this out in court. And then that's when we'll know what is true and what's not, right? So I'll leave it up to you guys. But if anybody out there wants to see a really good documentary, I will really actually recommend this one. I still have been hearing a lot of stuff out there about 50 Cent's documentary that he's doing with Netflix. And I actually know a couple of people that are in it. And rumors are that this is going to be the best one. And what I like about it is that they're not going to put it out until after the trial. So we won't get bits and pieces like we're getting now. We're going to get the whole story, right? From the beginning to the end. And if he gets found guilty or not, right? So I know a couple of you are having fatigue out there, but for those of you who want to hear some new stories, and like I said, some recent stories, definitely check this out. Let's go to lead story number 2. I'm going to break down 3 other parts of this documentary that I think you guys might like. Let's go over to there right now. Our second lead story. All right, so like I said, I'm just going to give you guys a quick recap of 3 things that I thought were really important to note during this Fall of Diddy documentary. So the first one is one of Diddy's ex-girlfriends. If I remember her name correctly, it's Kay Payton or Payton. Sorry if I don't remember correctly. But she says that she was on a yacht with Diddy and they were watching the R. Kelly documentary. And he said that he feels like everybody has a little bit of R. Kelly in them. And she said at the time, she didn't really think much of it, but now with everybody coming out with all these allegations on the lawsuits and Cassie, it now, it rings in her mind. Anybody at any time that would say that they think everybody has a bit of R. Kelly in them, that would literally send off like fire alarms in my head. Anyways, I'm going to play a little clip. I don't have video, but I do have the audio. Take a listen.
I remember one time, it was the beginning of 2019, and we were on a yacht, and the R. Kelly documentary had come out. He came into the room to watch a little bit, and he says, there's a little bit of R. Kelly in all of us. I wasn't absorbing the severity of that statement.
How did you not absorb the severity of that statement? Like, I just don't understand. Don't mean to drag her or whatever, but I ask you guys, if you were with anybody and anything came up with R. Kelly and they said, I feel like everybody has a little bit of R. Kelly in them, would you not never speak to that person again? Like, I literally would block them on every single thing I have and never speak to them again. Like, that's just ridiculous. Anyways, so the next one is from Lil Rod, where he makes, it's not funny, but a little bit funny. He talks about, for those of you who don't know, Lil Rod used to produce with Diddy, and he was really excited to produce on Diddy's Love album, which is Diddy's most recent album, where he says that he was never paid. He was just so happy to work with Diddy. And now he's coming out with all of these lawsuits, right? But I think this is one of the first times he's in a documentary. He tells a story about while he was working with Diddy on the Love album, and they were in the studio, and he's like, listen, I get my creative juices flowing when we go in the bathroom. He had everybody go into his bathroom, bring his recording equipment, and he went in the shower, like how you would normally go in the shower. I don't have to tell you all what that means. And he proceeded to record parts of the Love album in the shower with Lil Rod and other people there. It was just crazy. Anyways, take a listen.
We were at Puffy's Los Angeles house, working in the studio. He says, I want to work in my bathroom. Everybody bring everything. So we break down the studio, get and go to his bathroom as usual. And he strips himself in front of us and jumps right into the shower. But he's looking directly at me.
All right, there's obviously things I can't play or tell you, but trust me, go and watch the documentary. It gets a little bit more, he tells you a little bit more details than I can right now. Okay, the third one is Phil Pons, another ex-assistant. By the way, how many assistants has Diddy gone through? Every time I tell you guys a story, it's this ex-assistant and that ex-assistant. And I think it's because of stories like this where they're just like, I can't deal with this anymore. Anyways, this ex-assistant, Phil Pons, recounts some stories again in the past 3 or 4 years, not 20 years ago, about his freak offs and about there's another thing like King's Night or something. And he actually dropped some voice notes of Diddy asking for certain things. I'll try to see what I could play. But Diddy has little voice notes of like, yo, I need this for the freak offs. I don't have to tell you what he's asking for. He says that a lot of people think that there was like hundreds of people there. There wasn't. It was more like maybe 10 or 15 people, which is still a lot of people. But a lot of people think that it's like this big, huge 100, 200 people. He said, yes, there's sometimes big parties, but then when everybody leaves, there's maybe 10 or 15 people. I don't know if he gives an exact number, but he's saying it's not huge. He also says that it sometimes happen on a daily basis. So when some people give the argument of, hey, this is normal behavior for famous people. This is normal behavior that happens in LA, right? He says to the fact of, no, this wasn't like after the Grammy Awards once a year or for New Year's. He says this happened on a daily basis. Now, again, that's not grounds for him to be guilty. That's his life. He can do whatever he wants, but just showing, I think it gives merit to the people that have cases civilly and the government where it was almost daily to the fact of the reason why some people are alluding to the fact that, sorry, I'm trying to say something without saying it. I don't want this video to be, I don't want this show to be taken down, this episode to be taken down, where some people were alluding to the fact that they didn't necessarily want to be there, is what I'm trying to say, right? That's what a lot of these cases are saying. So the fact that it happened daily lends to the people's cases of, hey, when I was ready to leave, he didn't want me to leave, is what I'm trying to say, in other words. Anyways, let me just play Phil Pond's clip. Take a listen.
Those requests started to become more frequent. They started to occur on a daily basis. I would get a lot of voice notes from Diddy.
How often?
Daily.
Phil, I need some CS. Give me 20 thanks, please. Hey, Phil, I need a play. I need 10 capsules.
Anyways, I can't play the details of those voice notes, but like I said, if you're interested, go check out The Fall of Diddy. It is good. It comes in a couple of parts. Not everything is amazing, but there's definitely some key parts. If you don't want to, I pretty much just played the best parts for you. It's what I do. You're welcome. But for those of you who check it out, let me know in the comment section below if you liked it. And like I said, the most important part is a lot of the people in here are from 2 or 3 years ago. That was shocking to me. 2 or 3 years ago. Diddy, gosh. Our third lead story. All right, this is a quick update on the Tony Buzbee and Jay-Z case. This comes by way of Lauren Rosa from the Breakfast Club. Shout out to Lauren. So she tweeted this out and said, a judge has ruled that Tony Buzbee has to show proof that he filed for a license to practice law in New York City before February the 14th. She put out this letter. I guess this is the letter from the judge, so I'm going to put it up here. And this is what I love about Lauren. She actually spoke with Tony directly. And she said, I spoke with Tony Buzbee directly, and he told me the below. The court did not ask about my license. I'm obviously licensed in New York State. The court inquired about whether I'm formally admitted in the Southern District of New York. I'm actually admitted to the Eastern District of New York, and the two districts have what's called reciprocal administration. So as long as you're admitted in the Eastern District, you will be admitted to the Southern District. We will file the paperwork in a day or so. All right. So I don't know if Lauren knows about this and she's just not saying it, but I'll let you guys in on a little bit of tea that I heard. I heard that the reason why this is happening, and I'll tell you kind of like indirectly so that I don't get any legal letters. Y'all know that I told you guys last week about Tony Buzbee bringing in another lawyer in the case, right? And everybody was like, why did he bring in a lawyer? Even Megan, one of our journalists, one of our legal correspondents, she was like, listen, it's normal for other lawyers to bring in lawyers for their clients, but why is Tony Buzbee bringing in a lawyer for himself? And from what I have heard, this is the reason that Jay-Z and his team may have some influence on him being admitted and his license. I'm just going to say allegedly. And there might be some games playing around, and maybe Tony Buzbee might not be able to handle this case. That's why he's bringing in another lawyer. All right. I'm sure you all could read between the lines and figure out, but if you talk about it, you didn't hear from me. All right. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Jay-Z did warn him. He did warn him in that press release in the beginning. He said, yo, don't play with me. And especially in New York, you know that Jay-Z has reach in New York. So they play in games. Let's see who wins. Let's see if Tony Buzbee will still be able to represent his client in court. Just sidebar, even if he's not allowed, he still will be able to handle the case in the background. He just won't be able to actually I think he'll still be able to be in court, but he won't be able to actually like be cross-examining and stuff. I think he could still be on the team. He could at least sit there like at the desk and be like, ask this question, but he won't be able to be the lead, if I'm not mistaken. If you guys know more, let me know in the comment section below. Our fourth lead story. Dolton Mayor Tifffany Henyard was seen throwing hands at community meeting where wigs reportedly flew off and more. This is hilarious. I'm going to play a video for you guys. It's going viral everywhere online. You won't believe this. It was chaos at last night's Thornton Township Board of Trust meeting. What started out as a discussion about community issues quickly sprawled into people throwing hands involving Dolton Mayor Tifffany Henyard and community activists and other attendees. Henyard, who has been heavily criticized for alleged mismanagement and lack of transparency, found herself at the center of the altercation. Things did escalate quickly. All right, so what this is that somebody was up at the podium saying things about her, and before you know it, he walked away, but then allegedly her boyfriend came and confronted the guy for the things that he was saying about Tifffany. It's started to go down, and then you see her right out the corner of the screen run into them mixing up in all of this. So some people are like, yo, that's the type of mayor I want, you know, like it was. Anyways, it's hilarious. I can't play too much of it, you know, for YouTube community and all that, but I'll play a little clip. Take a listen.
Take a vote. We're going to exchange your black for Stephanie to be the new member of Army. So all those in favor will say aye.
I wish I could play the whole thing for y'all, but YouTube will take down this video. Anyways, so funny. I guess not funny, but funny at the same time, you know. Anyways, if you guys want to see the whole clip, just Google Dolton Mayor Tifffany. You'll see it. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Kanye West previews new music with Future in Tokyo. Kanye West just previewed multiple new songs, including remixes with Future. All right, for the past couple of weeks, we've been telling you guys. Actually, hold on. Do I have a clip? Yes, I do have a clip. Hold on. Here's a little clip. Take a listen. All right, back to what I was saying. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been telling you guys everything that Kanye West is up to being out in Tokyo. It first started around the holidays when he left that voice note, and I was like, oh, Kanye West is out to something. And throughout the weeks, we have seen the marketing campaign roll out. I'm really excited about this. I know some of you are still haven't forgiven him from the comments he made 2 years ago, and he's somewhat canceled. But what I explain to you guys every time I talk about Kanye is Kanye West lost everything because of those comments. He lost his deal with Adidas. He lost all his recording contracts, and he is fully independent. Now, what we've been hearing for the past couple of years is what artist is going to take the step now that we're in this new social media AI movement? Which artist is going to go independent first and not need these major record labels? Does Beyonce really need a record label to get her music out? She could post something on Instagram and we all know about it. Was there any advertisement for the Beyonce Bowl? No, we knew about it. Was there any advertisement for her Renaissance tour? No, we knew about it. Are major record labels still needed? I go back to Kanye. This album that he'll be coming out with is fully independent, and he's been making money off his last two albums. This is gearing up and starting to feel like a major record label push. Without the record label, Kanye West will make 100% profit off of this, of course, minus his marketing expenses. So I told you guys last week that Kai Cenat, the biggest streamer in the world, going out to Tokyo to be with Ye for this release. I told you about the slides that he's putting out, the shoe that he's putting out. Like I said, love him or not, it's very interesting to see. And coming from an independent content creator and making moves and somebody who has fought the system pretty much all my life. You guys know I've sued Nike, went against, Adidas and all of that. Like, I love fighting for the little guy. So his comments aside, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen. Sorry, I know I went on a little tangent there, but it's Thursday. You guys know I'm talkative on Thursdays and Fridays. I told you y'all yesterday. Anyways, I think I have more, so I'll follow through up with this in a couple of more quick stories. Jeez, I talk so much. Our second quick story. Florida Congresswoman introduces bill to carve Donald Trump in Mount Rushmore. All right, a Congresswoman is making headlines after introducing a bill that would add Trump's face to Mount Rushmore. Announcing the proposal on social media on Tuesday, she describes Trump's legacy as worthy of being on the historic monument. She says, his remarkable accomplishments for our country and the success he will continue to deliver deserves the highest recognition and honor in this iconic national monument. She wrote on Twitter, "Let's start carving." If approved by Congress, the bill would direct the Interior Department of overseeing Trump's addition to the South Dakota landmark. The Congresswoman further emphasized her support for the measure, stating that Mount Rushmore, a timeless symbol of our national freedom and strength, deserves to reflect his towering legacy, a legacy further solidified by the powerful start of his second term. Do y'all like this idea or no? Can you guys give this man a chance to prove himself? He's been in office for like 7 or 8 days. Oh my gosh, I told you guys like on Wednesday's episode, Donald Trump needs to be studied. I understand being liked, but this is on another level. When somebody likes Trump, when Trump has a supporter, it's on another level, man. Like I cannot take that away from him. Now, I would say I'm not against this. Donald Trump supporters, don't come for me in the comment section. I'm not saying I'm against this, but I am saying, should we not let him go to his second term? And I'm just going to throw a monkey wrench in here. If he is on the should be added to Mount Rushmore, should Barack Obama be added as well too? Because Barack Obama was the first black president ever elected out of 44? No, Trump was 44, 47. I don't remember, 46, 47. Out of 47 people, Barack Obama was the first black president. Is that not saying something? If you're saying like, hey, Trump's been so great and he has done some good things, like you got to think he won all 7 swing states. He won the popular vote. And that was the first time a Republican in 20 years won the popular vote. So I understand that he does stand out as a Republican president. And maybe that's an argument for him to be on Mount Rushmore. But if he is on, you should agree with me that we should wait till the end of his second term. Let's just see. Barack Obama had his full 8 terms. However, should we wait till his second term is over? And should we look to be adding Donald Trump? Should we look to be adding Barack Obama? That's what I want to say. And also, maybe, let me just throw another thing in there. Should we also add Kamala Harris? Should some vice presidents, I mean, she was the first female vice president. Should we add a vice president maybe to Mount Rushmore? Maybe on the side, on the corner, something? I don't know. Anyways, man, I'm going to get dragged for this. I know in the comment section, y'all are going to go off. Anyways, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Our third quick story. Sukihana calls out Ray J for keeping her picture on his wall and claims that he could still smell her on his upper lip. I don't know why I cover these stories sometimes. Sukihana puts Ray J on blast after he admits to keeping her picture on his wall and claims, anyways, I'm not even going to read that again. Just listen to Suki.
You got one more time to get on this Instagram and say that you smell my your face. You don't smell it still. That was a long time ago. You know what I mean?
All right, Suki is doing this because she has a man. I actually told you guys yesterday about Suki and her man being on an IG page that's do not rent, and apparently she doesn't have any money. Anyways, y'all know that Suki is comical. It's so funny, you know. I love seeing these things on Instagram, these Zeus and Blueface and Krishan Rock. Hey, what happened to Blueface and Krishan, actually? I haven't heard from them in a while. I know he's still locked up, but we heard from them. Anyways, what I was saying is that I love seeing these things on Instagram, but I don't watch any of them on TV. Like, I cannot do that. Shout out to y'all who do that. I do know. I heard there's another one there's a new show on Netflix called Wags to Riches, WAGS to Riches, with Yes Jules and a couple other people, Kodak's baby mama. Let me know if you guys have seen that. I might watch it this weekend because I've heard some stuff. But yeah, normally like the Housewives of Atlanta and Hip Hop Wives and this stuff I do not watch. Anyways, I'm talking again. Sukihana and Ray J had their show. This is like a spillover from their show to promote their show. Anyways, shout out to Suki. I love Suki, man. Although she's super ghetto and just wild, I love her. Our fourth quick story. A federal judge temporarily blocks the Trump administration from freezing federal grants and loans. All right. Stick with me because there's like 2 parts to this. I know some people in the comment section are going to say, oh, he actually took it back. We'll get there. Okay. The The White House previously announced its plans to pause federal grants and loans. However, a federal judge has now blocked the action. According to AP News, the U.S. District Judge Lauren L. Ackenham blocked the Trump administration's attempted action just minutes before it was scheduled to take into effect. This will block the freeze until February the 3rd. Trump's administration announced the freeze as they were set to begin an across-the-board ideological review to make sure the federal spending aligned with Trump's recent executive orders. As previously reported, the White House later clarified that Social Security, Medicare, food stamps, student loans, and scholarships were not going to be affected by the freeze. All right, so like I alluded to before I read you guys that there are reports out there that, oh, Donald Trump has taken off this freeze. He heard your cries and he heard that there was a lot of confusion, so he took off the freeze. Sorry, Trump supporters. It was a judge that ordered him to do so. And now Trump is being slick and being like, oh, I'm just going to take off the freeze because I don't want to worry people. It's marketing, man, and that's what Trump is great at. For those of you who are new to this podcast, I'm not a Donald Trump supporter, and I am not a Joe Biden or Kamala Harris supporter. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not Republican. I am independent. This is a purple podcast, and I call it like I see it. And for a living, I follow the news. Yesterday's show, I reported on the freeze, okay? The pause that he's calling it. And I read to you guys like a bunch of things that were going on with the pause. And while I was reading that, we found a story and read to you guys that there's a lot of senators and lawyers and people that are bringing this to court to try to stop this. And they stopped it. This actually came out yesterday, like the article said, before the 5 p.m. deadline. You go and look at any article that says that, oh, Donald Trump has taken off the freeze. It's after the 5 p.m., so after the judgment. I'll play one clip from you from Letitia James, who's not a big fan of Donald Trump, but I'm going to play a clip from you. She was one of the people that brought this pause to court. Take a listen.
Not only does this administration's new policy put people at risk, but it is plainly unconstitutional. When Congress dedicates funding for a program, the president cannot pull that funding on a whim. Later today, I am joining with my colleagues in suing this administration to stop this illegal freeze of essential funds for our state.
Like I said, I know a lot of Trump supporters are not going to be happy with that, but just like I dragged Joe Biden when he does something and try to pull the wool over our eyes, and I call him out, I got to call out Trump too. Trump has taken off the freeze because the judge ordered him to. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our fifth quick story. New White House press secretary shades Biden when asked about why egg prices have increased. She says Joe Biden was in the Oval Office or upstairs sleeping. I'm not sure. All right, there's a lot going on with this new press secretary. I love her. I might not love her ideas and her values, let's just say, because I heard some things that were kind of shocking. But I do love her for Trump. She is a representative of Trump, and she is riding with Trump till the wheels fall off. And I love people like that. Like I said, I could like people and not agree with their stance or their views. Totally hilarious how she dragged Joe Biden. I thought this was hilarious. And Joe Biden brought this on himself when he went on to the debate stage like that. You know, he just totally exposed himself. And that's why, I mean, even before that, people were calling him Sleepy Joe. But when he went on that debate stage and literally couldn't formulate a sentence together, he totally exposed himself to things like this. And I think it is hilarious. Take a listen to the new press secretary.
Egg prices have skyrocketed since President Trump took office. So what specifically is he doing to lower those costs for Americans?
I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure.
And while we're at it, let's just talk about eggs. We did tell you guys a story, I think it was this week or maybe last week, about eggs rising, yes, in 2024 when Biden was there, and we have dragged him for that. But we also played a story that said that egg prices are projected to increase in 2025 by 25%. So they're going to go even higher. So while you guys are, yes, you can drag Joe Biden for egg prices because it definitely was his economy under his time. He's no longer president. Donald Trump is. And I tell you guys, I know you guys have a lot of supporters right now. However, if you guys do not start bringing down the prices of eggs, the prices of bacon, the prices of the interest rates and inflation, all of this support, all these people in the comment section that drag me, all these Trump supporters, trust me, in 2 years from now, they're not going to be that way. They're going to be probably like me and being independent, or some of them might go over to the Democratic side. Trump has 2 years to prove himself. He has the House, he has the Senate, he has the White House. He has everything. The prices of eggs and the prices of everyday life needs to come down. We are watching you, President Donald J. Trump. Our sixth quick story. ASAP Relli took the stand and testified against his former friend ASAP Rocky. ASAP Rocky turned down a 180-day plea deal and is facing 20 years. All right, we have been following this, and Megan has been sending us some stuff. Shout out to Megan. And the latest that's happening is ASAP Relli is actually testifying against ASAP Rocky. For those of you who don't know who ASAP Rocky is Rihanna's man, husband, baby daddy, whatever you want to call it. Harlem legend. How could you not know who Rocky is? No, I'm joking. Anyways, I am in a mood today. Sorry. Excited for the weekend. ASAP Relli took the stand. And yes, this is what I wanted to say. Everybody, after they heard this testimony, was like, yo, why didn't he take the 180 days? And let me quickly tell you about that, what the 180 days meant. It was 180 days, then he'd be on probation, and then there would be, I think, a 7-year commuted sentence, meaning that if he does anything, he could be put back in jail. And everybody's saying in LA, 180 days, because the jails are so crowded, he would end up only doing maybe 30 days. And because he's high profile and he's Rihanna's baby daddy, maybe he would have gotten let out after a couple of days and he would be on house arrest. So because of this testimony that I'm about to play for you here quickly, now everyone's in an uproar saying, why wouldn't you take the plea deal? And let me tell you something about court, something that I have a lot of experience in, okay? Just because somebody's testimony sounds convincing doesn't mean that the person's automatically guilty, all right? It's a testimony. His lawyers get a chance to A, cross-examine, and B, most importantly, they get to add credibility or take away credibility of what they're going to do. Is he a credible witness? They could ruin his credibility. I don't know if they can or not, but if they're good lawyers, they could take away his credibility. And now the jury is just going to be like, I don't care about his testimony, right? And the fact that he's ASAP's friend, the fact that he has, a history, I'm sure there's ways that his lawyer could poke holes, A, in his testimony, and B, ruin his credibility. That's what a good defense attorney would do, okay? I actually called my defense attorney about this and talked with him before I actually told you this segment. So I'm getting it also from a second source. What else I want to tell you? So, this is what I also wanted to say is that when people are like, take a plea deal, don't forget, when you take a plea deal, that goes on your record for the rest of your life. And unless you get a pardon, that will be on his record. So yes, he might not, have to spend time in jail, but he's on probation, which is not fun. Trust me. He'll be on house arrest, which is not fun. Trust me. And then he has a 7-year commuted sentence, means that for the next 7 years, he's watched, monitored. If he does anything minor, it could get where he gets thrown back in jail or thrown in jail for up to 7 years. And y'all know how the system is, right? Like, I want to get into it, but y'all know how the system is. If they want to catch you with something, they'll catch you with something. So I just don't like everyone like, he should take a plea deal because it's not that easy. That's because you don't know about court and you don't know how it feels like to be in the system. And that's what the system does. The system wants you in the system. Look what's happening to Young Thug. Yes, he's out. He was in for 2 years? And he's out. And everyone, he's out. But is he really free? I mean, yes, he's free because he's not in jail, but he can't go to Atlanta for 15 years. He's on probation for 5 or 6 years. And he has a 15-year commuted sentence. Yes, he's out. Trust me, I know he's happy that he's out. But a lot of people don't think that he should have taken that plea deal, his lawyer included, and tried to fight and get not guilty. When you're found not guilty, you're completely free. Nothing. When you take a plea deal, you're in the system for life. And that is not fun. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in a comment. Oh, actually, sorry. I do have a clip where I have to drag A$AP Relli a little bit. Somebody from TMZ asked him like why he's snitching. And he came out and was like, what? Snitching? How is this snitching? Well, if you take the stand and you tell on somebody it's snitching, I'm not saying don't snitch, but if you're going to snitch, at least acknowledge that you're snitching. Anyways, take a listen to this clip.
Hey, Relli, some people call you a snitch. What you say about that?
You be a snitch if somebody at you?
I just realized I didn't even play the testimony for you guys. I am chatty today. All right, here is a clip of A$AP Relli on the stand.
When you said he pointed it at you, where on your body was he pointing?
Like towards my stomach, like towards like my headish a little. He was looking for a spot to. If Elijah wasn't there, I don't know what would have happened.
Rihanna was in the courtroom today for A$AP Rocky's trial in Las.
Our seventh quick story. Who is the worst rapper out of this group of MCs? All right, I found this on a content creator's page. I thought it was really funny. Well, I think his answer is actually really funny. But for those of you who are not seeing this, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, Nas, Kanye West, Drake, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, J. Cole, and 50 Cent. Who is the worst rapper there? I'll play for you what this guy is saying, which is ridiculous. And then I'll tell you what I think on the other side. Take a listen.
Kendrick, you got to get your on out of here, man.
Now, let's state one thing that's the obvious. He's wearing a Kansas City jersey and hat, so I like him just based off of that. Go Patrick Mahomes. But, bro, Kendrick Lamar, are you joking? Are you joking? There is one clear answer, and it's really, really simple. It's Kanye West. Because Kanye West is not a rapper. He's a producer. For sure, he can rap, but most of his raps are written. And yeah, while he has a nice flow, he's not like a rapper's rapper. Kanye is more about his energy and his articulation, which is something to be said about a rapper. But when you have him amongst these rappers who are like really rapping, like it's not even close. Like the answer is Kanye West. Even 50 Cent arguably is, and 50 Cent is like my top three. When you have him in a classification with these lyrical geniuses and these guys that have rhyme patterns and flows that will literally like make your head spin. And by the way, why isn't Biggie on this list? Like, what are you talking about? You can't have a list of MCs lyrical delivery like this without having Biggie on it. So, anyways, yeah. So 50 Cent definitely is not even in these guys' class, and he'll even tell you that. But Kanye West, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. Our eighth quick story. Kanye West drops hilarious video teasing his second episode of his podcast. All right. The download with Justin LeBoy will be available on Yeezy.com on February the 2nd. All right. Exactly what I was telling you a little bit earlier. Even Kanye West's podcast, it's not on Apple. It's not on Spotify. It's on Yeezy.com. Everything this man is doing is on his own. And that needs to be applauded. It needs to be applauded and it needs to be highlighted. That is crazy. I'm going to put up this picture here. You know, he just put it up on his Instagram or maybe on his Twitter or whatever. The download on Yeezy.com, February the 2nd. And here's the clip that he put out. Take a listen.
He was there. You know what I'm saying? I saw him on us.
Now, why the whole clip is everybody just laughing? Who knows? It's Kanye, man, but it's getting people talking. It's getting buzz around out there. And I love this. I love this, man. This guy is putting out his own clothing, his own footwear, his own music, and his own podcast, all independently. Not on YouTube, not on Spotify, not on Apple, not on Meta, nowhere. Not on Twitter, not on TikTok. Yes, the clips are going out there, but where it comes to money, where you're actually going to download, it's all on his own platform, Yeezy.com. This is next level. Nobody in the history of music has ever done anything like this. And I wouldn't call myself a music historian, but I know a lot about it. I was in the music industry for over 10 years. It's my first love. Michael Jackson tried to do this. Prince tried to do this, like the Beatles. Like it's got Little Richard, you know, like artists owning their own music. Go into the history. This goes back to the 60s and 70s. We're not talking about owning your own masters. We're talking about owning your own distribution. I'm telling you, for those of you who understand music, you know how huge this is. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this and if you'll be listening to the podcast or downloading or buying anything from Kanye West. Our 9th quick story. The Legally Blonde prequel series titled Elle is set to begin filming in March. Reese Witherspoon will serve as the executive producer for the series through her company, Hello Sunshine. All right, I wanted to throw this in here for the girlies, the ladies. I know y'all ladies love Legally Blonde. I'm not a big fan of the movie, but it's not for me. But I am a big fan of Reese Witherspoon. I forgot that movie she was in with, I should have researched this. With that guy in New York, remember? And he was with like 2 different girls and she was like the innocent one. Somebody in the comment section below, tell me what that movie, the name of that movie. I won't even Google it because I depend on the comment section. By the way, I love you guys, by the way, total sidebar. I read all the comments. I see everything. Somebody, by the way, said that I have beautiful hands. Thank you very much. Anyways, I am really chatty today. Anyways, let me know if you guys are excited for this. I know there's going to be a lot of women that are excited for this and tuning in. So I wanted to let you guys know they're starting filming in March. Means that it probably will come out maybe around the holiday time or maybe even next year. Let me know if you guys are excited for the prequel of Legally Blonde Elle. Oh, I just realized prequel means that this is going to be before the movie. Oof, just realized that. I'm a little bit excited. Our 10th quick story. Apple and SpaceX link up to support Starlink Satellite networks on iPhones. All right, this is exciting. Apple has collaborated with SpaceX and T-Mobile to integrate support for the Starlink Satellite network into the latest iPhone software update. This development allows iPhone to connect to SpaceX Starlink services, providing users with the ability to send text messages and access emergency services when they are out of cell phone range. This is amazing. T-Mobile has initiated a beta test allowing a limited number of iPhone users to try the services, which currently only supports texting, with plans to expand to data connection and voicemail in the future. Elon Musk has indicated that future updates may include supports for images, music, and video streaming through Starlink. All right, so this is really, really excited. A friend of mine sent this to me that he's a big fan of Starlink and satellite. I ain't going to try to play like I know too much about it, but I do know it's super cool. And from what little I know that my boy tells me about is that in the future, we won't be using cell towers. We'll be using satellite, and we won't have to worry about, do we have good coverage? We don't have to worry about good coverage or good zones like how we used to like 10 years ago, but still, there is still some low connections and everything will be up on satellite. So this will be really cool. If you're in the ocean, if you're on a boat, wherever you are, you'll have internet service and you'll be able to video stream. Really, really cool. I know sometimes I drag Elon Musk, but he does do some cool things, or he is working on some really cool things for the future. So shout out to Elon Musk. Our 11th quick story. Spotify paid out $10 billion to the music industry in 2024 alone. In 2024, Spotify paid out $10 billion to the music industry, bringing its total contribution since 2006 to nearly $60 billion. This subsequent payout underscores Spotify's significant role in the music industry revenue stream. Despite this, the platform has faced criticism over its pre-streaming payout rates, which some artists argue are low compared to competitors like Apple and YouTube. Spotify defends its compensation model by highlighting its larger user base and overall higher total payout to artists and right holders. This is exactly what I was talking about with Kanye. They paid out $10 billion. Notice they said to the music industry, not to the artist, to the music industry. So it goes to Universal, Sony, Warner first. Then from there, the artist gets paid and they get paid peanuts. You literally make zero from Spotify. You have to be like the Drake and Kendricks and the Beyoncés. If you're independent artist, you actually make no money. And I wonder how much they made. Somebody Google that for me and let me know. How much did Spotify made? If they paid out $10 billion to the music industry, how much did they make off of that? Like, they are the worst, man. Stick to YouTube Music. Y'all know I'm a YouTuber, but no, YouTube pays the best, man. Even for content creation and with Spotify and Apple podcasts. You know, we make way more money when you guys stream us on YouTube. Everybody makes more money on YouTube. Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all of them, Twitter. YouTube pays the best for content creators. So as much as you can, support people on YouTube. Our 12th quick story. Is Donald Trump really joking about running for a third term? President Trump publicly mused about running for a third term on Monday in his remarks to the White House Republicans in a room saw as a joke, but one that Donald Trump kept repeating. Trump's remarks at the House Republican Annual Issues Retreat came days after an ally in the White House introduced a measure that would set in motion the process of adopting a constitutional amendment allowing him to seek a third term. The bill has not advanced in the chamber at all. Here's a little clip. Take a listen.
I've raised a lot of money for the next race that I assume I can't use for myself, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't know. I think I'm not allowed to run again. I'm not sure. Am I allowed to run again?
I think this week we actually put this in social discussion of the day. If not, I know I definitely talked about it in quick stories or maybe even in lead stories where I'm not opposed to this third term. I'm not opposed to it. The reason why I am independent and the reason why I love democracy is let the people vote. If you want to run for a third term, go ahead. For those of you who don't know, I'm Canadian. That's not how it works in Canada. In Canada, it's not 4 year and 4 year. It's as long as they keep voting you in. I think there is some limit at some point, but Justin Trudeau he was the prime minister for 8 years. So, and he just resigned. I think he could have ran again, if I'm not mistaken. However, I don't have a problem with this. If you could get voted in, go ahead. However, this is not going to just apply to Donald Trump. It will apply to everybody in the future, a Democratic president in the future. And this also means that Barack Obama could run again, right? Don't make it in a way that only Trump can run for a third term. It should be where any president who's living should be able to run for a third term. Now, there's not that many living presidents, and Bill Clinton doesn't look really kind of like up to the task, but does that mean that George Bush Jr. can run again? Bill Clinton, if he wanted to, could run again. Barack Obama could run again if he wanted to. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I know a lot of people don't like this, but why? If you're a great president and you get the votes, why not? What I would like to see, again, just because it's today and I feel like being chatty, what do you guys think about the popular vote and the electoral vote? Let's get rid of the electoral vote and just have the popular vote. That's how we do it in Canada. Popular vote, you can win as many times as you would like. I think you should set some sort of limit, like maybe, let's say 4 terms or even 3 terms, fine. But a bigger question is the electoral vote and the popular vote. And I'm not going to get into why they brought in the electoral vote. For those of you who want to know, you can Google it, but it wasn't for good reason. Let's just put it that way, okay? It's Thursday. I don't want to get into anything. Let's go to the next story. Our 13th quick story. Lil Yachty tells Shannon Sharp he needs to settle down with a woman his age, and Yachty says he has the perfect woman for him, his mama. The full coverage drops tonight at midnight, wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube. All right, this hasn't come out yet. Well, depending on when you hear this, it may have come out, so that's why I don't have a clip. But y'all know I'm a big fan of Shannon Sharp, and I like Yachty too. Y'all, you can't be a Drake fan without liking Yachty, so I definitely want to check this out. And I hope that Shannon asks him some question about Drake and Kendrick and the beef and all of that stuff. So I hope that we get some tea from that. But for those who want to check it out, make sure you check it out. And like I said, make sure you try to check it out on YouTube. Our 14th quick story. 45-year-old R&B singer Mya says she's been celibate for 7 years now. She said, "I did it for a year, probably the most peaceful and productive year of my life." Okay, why is she saying that she did it for a year, but then the title says 7 years? I don't know what to believe here. Anyways, shout out to Mya. I want to throw this in here because Mya is looking good at 45. And for the past week, I've been playing for you ladies, Aaron Pierre. We even had an Aaron Pierre and Skepta sound off. So enough guy attention. I want to bring it back to the ladies. I'm going to put up a picture of Mya and how great she looks at 45 years old. Shout out to Mya. I met Mya in Toronto with Vivica A. Fox, like back in the day. And anyways, I won't go into too many details, but Mya is fine then. She is fine now. Always love Mya. Shout out to Mya. I don't know about the whole celibacy thing of what you're doing now, but I'm single. You're single. Call me. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you know what? To say something about the celibacy thing, it is true. I remember there was a point in my life where I was kind of like at a crossroads with something. And it was actually when I was modeling and I was out actually in South Africa. And, there's a lot of stuff going on. For those of you in the model industry, and I was kind of like at a crossroads and I was like, I don't know if I should start my company and get out of modeling. And I didn't really know what to do. And I was at a crossroads. I was reading a lot. I was studying a lot and I didn't know what to do. And I was celibate for almost a year. It was literally so like cleansing out of my mind. I just got a lot of distractions out my way. And it actually is really beneficial. So for those of you who are maybe dealing with stuff in your life, maybe try to think about it. I won't get into any more detail about it. Our 15th quick story. The White House to open up the briefing room to podcasters and influencers. If I could stand up and give you all a round of applause. Woo! This is amazing. For those of you who are new to the show, I have been saying for years, podcasters, influencers, content creators, we are the future. We are the future of media. We are the future. Linear TV, ABC, NBC, people getting cable, satellite, all of that is out. It's in the past. Everything will be on social platforms. I'm telling you, how many people that are in their 20s right now that have cable? No, they get everything from content creators. And I love that the White House, shout out to Donald Trump for this, shout out to whoever implemented this. And like I said a couple of days ago, it was actually yesterday's podcast. Go check it out. When I brought it to social discussion of the day, Donald Trump has changed the language of politics. Yes. I know there's a lot of things that he doesn't do I know there's a lot of things he does that are not great, but we have to applaud the things that he does that are great. During his campaign, he sat down with podcasters. He sat down with people who were not on just linear TV, and he has changed the language of politics, and he's brought in a lot of younger people into the conversation, and it's so good for democracy. It's so good when as many people as possible are involved. Go back and listen to yesterday's podcast, 430. I definitely dig a little deeper into it. I give credit to Donald Trump for that, bringing the conversation to a younger demographic and to platforms where younger people listen to. Joe Rogan, podcast platforms, et cetera, Aiden Ross, et cetera. Big changes are coming in the Brady press briefing room in the West Wing of the White House. Press secretary made her debut at the podium on Tuesday, announcing that Donald Trump's White House would open up the briefing room to independent journalists, podcasts, social media influencers, and content creators, and would be creating a dedicated seat in the front row for new media. Let me give you another round of applause again. Woo! This is amazing. She said, because according to recent polling from Gallup, Americans' trust mass media has fallen to record lows. Millions of Americans, especially young people, have turned away from traditional media outlets and newspapers to consume the news from podcasts, blogs, social media, and other independent outlets. It's essential to our team that we share President Trump's message everywhere and adapt this White House to a new media landscape for 2025. For more details, click. This is amazing, man. This is so good. I'm going to apply for my White House pass, man. Imagine trying out loud in the media room. What is it called? The Brady media room. I love this. Shout out to Donald Trump for this, man. This is so good, so good. Not just for me because I'm a content creator or a YouTuber. And I know some of you might think like, this is Trump just trying to, bring it to platforms where there's not as much fact checking. And I understand that argument. I always understand both sides. I get it. Trump is always saying, fake news. I get it. However, there are some really good podcasts out there. There are really some good independent media. And whether you like it or not, whether you like fact checking or not, whether you like traditional media or not, the fact of the matter is that a new generation is coming and they are not watching cable TV. You're going to have to accept it at some point. YouTube, podcast platforms, Meta, this is the way of the future. Cable TV and satellite will be gone in 20 years. You see all of these platforms creating their new apps. NBC has Peacock. There's ABC has Disney. Everybody is developing their own platforms. Soon there will be a platform that will join them all together. I think there probably still is, but independent platforms, independent media, love it, man. Shout out to Trump.
It is a fact that Americans are consuming their news media from various different platforms, especially young people. I am excited to announce the following changes will be made to this historic James S. Brady briefing room. Starting today, whether you are a TikTok content creator, a blogger, a podcaster, if you are producing legitimate news content, no matter the medium, you will be allowed to apply for press credentials.
Our 16th quick story. Georgia healthcare worker arrested for on patient's head, smacked with felony charges. All right, I'm not even going to read this and play this. I just wanted to follow up. We played this, I think it was 2 weeks ago or so, where there was a healthcare worker making TikTok videos with patients. It was so disturbing. I didn't even play the video. It was really just horrible. I wanted to follow up because there's people in the comment section that agreed with me, obviously. And there are people who were calling for her to be arrested, not just, banned off of TikTok or whatever. So I just wanted to let you know that she has been arrested. I don't know what her time will be, but listen, there is TikTok videos and I like having fun. I like social media and all of that stuff too, but you're a nurse in a hospital. You're taking care of patients. And if any of you have seen or know the story, you know about the patients. And again, I'm not even going to get into it. I know most of these patients didn't even know what was going on. Okay. And that's just so wrong. So I'm happy to hear that she has been arrested, and literally I hope she's in jail for the next 10 years because this was just horrible. Our 17th quick story. Allison Holker recalls being with Stephen Twitch Boss on the scaffolding during a Glee concert. Social media users are even more livid. All right. I'm going to give you guys context for those of you who don't know the background of Allison Holker. She is married to Stephen Twitch Boss. Y'all know what happened to him. And unfortunately, and last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't know, maybe it's more like a month now, I dragged her, content creators, everybody. It was an uproar of her. We found out that she made Stephen's mom sign an NDA. She made his family sign an NDA. She put stuff in her book that we didn't ask about Stephen to know. And literally people were dragging her saying, why are you telling us all of these things about Stephen? They were just things that we didn't ask for. Okay. So people were dragging her. Now she's been on a new podcast, and now she's talking about a time where she was with him on scaffolding. Okay. And I don't think this is something to drag her for. This is what she should be talking about. This is what her book should be about, their relationship. This is not bad. And she even says, I feel comfortable talking about this because Stephen talked about this when he was here. Okay. So I am the first to drag somebody when they do something wrong, especially when it comes to mental health. And she was writing stuff about his mental health that should not have been exposed because we didn't know these things about him. This stuff is something that he did talk about. So you can't just blanketly just drag somebody and be like, well, we've dragged her a month ago, so we're just going to continue dragging her. She misses her husband. She's written a book. We all know the things that shouldn't be in the book, but her talking about her relationship and her talking about some fun night that they had on the scaffolding at a Glee concert, it's really not that bad. Here's a clip. Take a listen.
The only reason I'm so willing to share this story is he actually shared this story on the Ellen show, and I was devastated that he was willing to share this on TV. Oh my goodness. We started doing the deed, and then all of a sudden security was flashing their lights, who's up here?
Like I said, drag somebody when they deserve to be dragged, but just because they're dragged one time doesn't mean they need to be dragged forever. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. All right, this is really a question for my ladies out there. Please answer this for me, okay? Michael Blackson gets a new haircut to look more American and mid-ice raids, okay? So he's joking, obviously. He got a new haircut. But I'm going to put up a picture of Michael Blackson with his haircut. Then I'm going to put a picture of his hair before. And, you know, just, again, let's just forget that it's Michael Blackson. He's a comedian out there. That's why his face is like that, okay? He's a comedian. But my question is this longer hair phase over? This, you know, like that longer kind of messier style with the, you know, using the sponge? Have we gone back to a clean cut look? Do I have to cut off my hair? What's going on? Michael Blackson cut off his hair. Dr. Umar cut off his hair. Yachty cut off his hair. Drake cut off his hair. There's a couple of people in the industry that have cut off their hair and have gone to this lower clean look. I'm sure I can't even remember now, but there's a couple of other people. What's going on? Are we going back to 5 or 6 years ago with this low cut fade? Fellas, are you ready to cut off your hair? Are you ready to cut off your braids? For those of you who don't know, this is the first time in my life that I've ever grown out my hair. I had very, very strict parents, so I could never have braids. I couldn't have designs. I couldn't have anything. So as an adult, I just always kept my hair low. And then 2020, when, you know, we were all stuck in the house, I was like, oh, let me let my hair grow. And I was like, yo, my hair's actually nice. And I had curls. And then people are like, yo, your hair looks cool. It's curly, whatever. And I grew it out. And then I braided it. And it's been a journey ever since. So this is new to me. But, yo, I can't just cut it off. But I don't know, man. I don't want to be the only one out here. Ladies, let me know what you think. Is the new look, is the new vibe a low cut fade? Are we going back to that? Y'all know fashion always is a revolving door. I know my mom is watching this because she watches every episode. Hi, Mom. I know you're going to be very, very happy, Mom, if people in the comment section say to cut off my hair, because my mother hates my hair. She doesn't even like my beard being this long. She doesn't, well, you know, I'm her son, right? I'm her baby boy. She wants me to have a low haircut, no beard. So, but let's not even talk about the beard, all right? The beard is staying. The beard has been around for a while, even before 2020. But ladies, let me know what you think, man. This not just on me, but the style out there. Are we going to low cut fades? Are we staying with the twist? Are we staying with the dreads? Are we staying with the sponge kind of messy look? Or are we going back to the clean look from 5 or 6 years ago? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. What's one restaurant that's not worth the hype? Let's be honest. All right, somebody said STK. I think that's the steakhouse, right? And I'm a big steak guy, like huge. My favorite steakhouse in Toronto, well, they're not paying me to say this. Actually, no, I'm not giving them no props, but I have my favorite, I was going to say famous because it is famous, but my favorite steakhouse is in Toronto. It's the best steak in the world. Like the steaks start at $200. It's crazy. All the Raptors are there, all the Blue Jays, all the Leafs. Like it's literally like Lambos, Rolls Royces, and like Ferraris outside. It's my favorite place to go when I'm in Toronto. All right. So anyways, I'm literally going off track so easily today. STK. Why am I going and talking about this steakhouse when one thing was said about STK? Anyways, so STK is overrated. Let me know. I've never eaten there. Somebody said Raising Cane's. I don't even know what that is. Wingstop. I was just talking about that with somebody the other day. I think it was my niece when she was saying that she really wants to try Wingstop. I really want to try Wingstop too. Let me know if it's overrated. Somebody said Chipotle. Yes, I agree. What is y'all fascinations with Chipotle? Like, I don't understand it. It's salad, bruh. It's a burrito. It's good, but really? My cousin who watches this show every day too, shout out to Sheridan, she is the biggest Chipotle fan like crazy. When she used to live in Montreal, she would literally drive to Ottawa for Chipotle. Like, it was nuts. As soon as if she ever came to see me in Toronto, boom, I got to go to Chipotle. And I literally live like right downtown Toronto, and there's a Chipotle like 2 seconds away. Anyways, totally feel like it's overrated. Somebody said, I'm sorry, but Olive Garden. Okay, I never would eat at Olive Garden. Sorry, no shade to Olive Garden, but Cheesecake Factory. What? Somebody said a big menu and it's all mid. Yo, Cheesecake Factory is not overrated. Stop it. I remember when I was living in Jersey, my cousin and I would go to the Cheesecake Factory. I think it was like every Wednesday or Thursday. Yo, when she showed me that place, I was, oh my gosh, I love the Cheesecake Factory. I had, and it's still, when I was in Atlanta the other day and in Miami, I had the same meal. I forgot what it is. It's like a chicken with like I think it's chicken with potatoes and something, and there's some, maybe it's a chicken marinara. I don't know. Somebody tell me in the comment section below. Yes, I look at all the comments. But yeah, it's been there literally for years. It's never going anywhere. And then of course, I have the biggest sweet tooth in the world. I literally can sometimes maybe even get 2 cheesecakes. Crazy. Caramel cheesecake. What? Cheesecake Factory. All right, I went off on another tangent. Somebody said the Waffle House. What? Yo, y'all are not being nice out here. Okay, I'm going to stop this. Somebody said In-N-Out. In-N-Out is overrated? Are you joking? What? In-N-Out is life. Wow, man. Or another person said STK. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to stop. Chick-fil-A is not overrated. You people are joking. My friend, sorry, I'm going off again, but my friend texted me the other day, and in Montreal, we don't have Chick-fil-A. He was in Toronto. He literally called me from the line and he's like, all right, you keep telling me about Chick-fil-A, how amazing it is. I'm going to order it. And he's like, but I saw somebody, it literally just is a plain burger with the chicken and the pickle. I'm like, it cannot be right. Is that literally what I order? I'm like, yes, order it. It's the original. Order it. It's amazing. He sent me pictures and he's like, I can't believe that you made such a big deal of this. I think why people try to act like it's not a big deal is because it's so plain and you think it's going to be this big, overwhelming burger, but you cannot you have to admit that the taste, the bun, and everything is amazing. And even he admitted to it. Anyways, another person said Wingstop. Wow, Wingstop is getting like dragged out here. Chipotle, totally agree. Red Lobster, somebody said the Red Lobster in Harlem. I haven't had the Red Lobster in Harlem, but I don't think Red Lobster is overrated, but definitely Red Lobster, because it's not overrated, but it's not seafood like how you get at a seafood restaurant. It's fast food seafood. So it's not overrated. It's just, I think we think seafood and we have an expectation of seafood. Popeye's chicken sandwich. Okay, so I'm going to stop. What? I literally just had that in Tampa the other day. What? Oh. No, and I actually had it in New York too when I was at Charlemagne's Mental Wealth Alliance. I had 2. Like I went out actually I had 2 days in a row right in Times Square. Anyways, shout out to Popeyes. Y'all should be paying me for this. Somebody said McDonald's. Okay, that's just craziness. I'm not a McDonald's fan. I don't eat McDonald's, but you can't say it's overrated. Okay, I'm looking for one thing here. Said cookie crumble. Okay, I knew that was going to come out. I still haven't tasted it. Let me know if you guys like it. I'm looking for one, and I'm really happy it's not here. I was looking for somebody to say Shake Shack, because Shake Shack is also too amazing. I love that, man. All right, somebody said Texas Roadhouse. Cheesecake Factory again. What? Y'all are crazy. Nobu? Okay, I'm done. Nobu is overrated. All right, I'm not talking to you guys anymore. Somebody said Panda Express. Let me know in the comment section below. I promise I won't drag you. What is a restaurant that you feel is overrated? I love everything that I just said. Y'all know me. So anyways, and I'm also very, very picky. I'm very picky. My friends know that about me. I am a very, very picky person. So when I tell you something is good and not overrated, trust me. All right, this brings us to sports news. Stephen A. Smith says, I'm pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. And this was in response to Bronny James playing in the Lakers' 118-104 loss against the 76ers. I've been saying this for so long. Listen, LeBron James, love you, bro. Not on the court, love you off the court. I understand you wanted to play with Bronny. I get it. And I'm going to play Stephen A. Smith's clip in a second. I get you want to play with my son. And I won't play the whole clip from Stephen A., but even he says, hey, we get it. The first night, home game, the Griffeys were there. The Griffey father and son were there, senior and junior. We get that you wanted to bring him up from the G League, put him out. It was nice. You had your moment. We had our pictures. He doesn't deserve to be pulled up. He's doing well in the G League. I heard he had a game that was like 32 points and he's averaging something in the 20s. This is just, I can't believe we're still talking about it. Anyways, here's a little clip from Stephen A. Smith.
I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
Like I said, LeBron, I get it. You're a great father, bro. And that's why I drag you on the court and I say how Kobe and Jordan are the best. They're the GOATs. Jordan shouldn't even be in the conversation because he's just not even human. But, you know, you're not the GOAT, but you're the GOAT basketball dad. You know what? You're a great dad, but I feel like this is a disservice to Bronny James. Anyways, hopefully we don't have to talk about this anymore. Thank you so much for joining me on this Thursday's episode. Man, if you thought I was chatty today, wait till tomorrow's episode. I get real chatty on Friday. I'm very excited for Friday's episode. Anyways, before I let you go, just want to remind you guys of all the ways to keep up with the podcast. For those of you who are watching me right now on YouTube and you can't always get us on YouTube, we are also available on all podcast platforms. If you're in your car, wherever you are, and you don't have access, check us out on podcast platforms. Just go to your desired site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified whenever we upload new shows. And yes, we're available on all podcast platforms. Now, vice versa. For those of you who are used to listening to the show on podcast platforms, please try to check me out on YouTube. It's my favorite place to watch the show. If you think I'm animated on audio, wait till you see me live and direct right on your screens at home. Watch me on your TVs, all right? Try to check us out on YouTube. Like I said, it's fun. It's more interactive. I play pictures. I play pictures. I put up pictures. I play videos. It's really a great way to digest and watch the show. So just go to YouTube, type in Trend Out Loud. The show will pop up. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Please don't forget to hit the like button. And please do not forget to comment. It is the best way to help grow the channel. And of course, don't forget to share. But comment section, thank you guys so much. Yes, it does help grow the channel, but I also love it. I do this podcast by myself, but everybody always asks me, like, how can you do a podcast by yourself? I don't feel like I'm by myself. I'm doing this podcast with you guys. I start off by having the floor and talking, and then I hand it over to you guys in the comment section to tell me what you're feeling, whether you disagree, whether you don't agree, whether you're a Trump supporter, not a Trump supporter, whether you're a Biden supporter or a Kamala supporter. I love it all. You're all welcome over here. I read all of it. And then I come back the next day and comment on it. So I see everything. And like I told you earlier, somebody said I had nice, beautiful hands. So thank you. Anyways, make sure y'all comment below. If you guys want to follow me on any social platform, it's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I will see you guys for Friday's episode. It's going to be Friday. It's coming up soon, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.